talking on research fundamentals for artisanal and small-scale mining in Africa and in America. I thank Dr. Ahmed Wada Ikaka that has given us the basis. Artisanal mining refers to small-scale informal mining activities. They are not structured like they ought to be. They often employ manual labor rather than heavy machineries. Things that machines are supposed to accomplish is being used. Individuals are being used. They use their hands, which could be very, very dangerous. Artisanal mining is prevalent in many parts of Africa and America as well. And it has both benefits and challenges. And I'm going to give a summary of the fundamentals relevant to both regions. Now, artisanal mining in Africa. Dr. Asokoro talked about economic and environmental aspect. I'm starting with the economic impact. There's about estimated 40 million people involved in artisanal mining across Africa. And it contributes approximately $4 billion annually to local economies, particularly through mineral export like gold, like diamond and gemstone. Now that's a lot. In some countries like Mali and Burkina Faso, artisanal gold mining represents a significant portion of total gold production. Talking about regulatory framework, countries like Ghana and Tanzania, they have made efforts towards formalizing artisanal mining. For example, Tanzania has introduced specific licenses for artisanal miners. In Zimbabwe, for instance, the government reported that approximately 70% of the nation's gold production comes from artisanal mining. Now, that is huge. If about 70% of the nation's gold production is coming from artisanal mining, that is huge. And that means we need to take action quickly. Quick action is to be taken. Now, looking at the environmental concerns around artisanal mining in Africa, artisanal mining often leads to severe environmental degradation, including deforestation, including mercury pollution. The use of mercury in gold processing poses health risk and contaminates water systems. An estimated 1,000 tons of mercury, they are released into the environment annually due to artisanal mining activities. All of these in Africa. Now, the social issues. Artisanal miners typically work in poor conditions. There is a 2018 report that indicated a high prevalence of child labor in mining areas across Africa, particularly in gold and cobalt sectors. Women represent a significant proportion of this workforce, and they are often facing exploitation and limited access to benefits. Now, the sector challenges, the challenges of artisanal mining in Africa. Majorly vulnerability to global gold prices, which can lead to instability in income. Yes, we have gold in Africa, we have so many other minerals, but we do not determine the prices because we don't have the machineries. We don't have what we need to extract all of this. So another one is investment in technology is a major challenge. And then we have challenges of training programs. It's really very limited. And that is why the vision for us to work in collaboration with Corporate Institute of Strategic Research, TIWODAI, which is the Women on the Wheels Development Initiative, and Women in Mining Africa, to see how we can help. How can we help these artisanal miners in Africa? Do we want to bring in foreign direct investment? Do we want to do it through trainings? Do we want to do it through grant writings to institutional donors? How can we help? So all of these, they are things hindering productivity and safety of artisanal miners in Africa. Now, artisanal mining in America, it's a deliberate action to compare the same topic in Africa and America. America started from somewhere. And I'll be talking right on now on the economic contribution. that artisanal mining in America has provided to the various states in America. In the US, small-scale mining produces a significant volume of minerals, including gold in Alaska and California. The US Geological Survey reported over $1.5 billion in the total value of US gold production in 2021 here, just with small-scale operations contributing. What is the difference? They have the machineries, even though they are still artisanal miners. In South America, particularly in countries like Ecuador and Brazil, artisanal mining can account for 10 to 20% of national gold production. Not so in Africa yet. Now, artisanal mining in America, regulations and rights, regulatory frameworks. In the US, artisanal miners often operate under the General Mining Act of 1872, which allows for mining on public lands. However, regulatory compliances can be complex. In Colombia, for instance, where around 90,000 artisanal miners are active, new regulations are being put in place from time to time to increase formalization and rights for small miners. The US, talking about environmental regulations now, the US has stringent environmental regulations, unlike we have in Africa. And these regulations are enforced by agencies such as the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, mandating responsible mining practices. In South American countries, they face challenges in enforcing similar regulations, especially in areas where artisanal mining is prevalent. So that means South America and Africa, maybe we call us the global South, have some challenges in common. But I will go to the cultural significance of artisanal mining in America. In America, indigenous communities in both North and South America have a historical connection to artisanal mining and their practices, particularly with gold mining. There is a growing movement among indigenous groups advocating for rights to land and sustainable mining practices. Challenges of artisanal mining in America. Access to land and legal rights can be problematic, particularly in areas where large-scale mining interests dominate. In some regions of South America, South again, small-scale miners face conflicts with larger corporations. Factors such as political instability, especially in countries like Venezuela, like we all know, further complicate the artisanal mining landscape. In conclusion, and future steps, artisanal mining in both Africa and America present opportunities for economic development, but it also possesses significant challenges. The key areas for improvement include formalization, very important, policy issues, establishing legal frameworks that protect artisanal miners' rights. And I think both the two speakers ahead, Dr. Wada and the ED of Women in Mining Africa, policy issues. So there is need for formalization. Then environmental management, implementing best practices to mitigate environmental damage. And then community support, providing training like we are doing, and access to technology to improve safety and productivity. But I think this is training of trainers now. We look more like the researchers and look more like the training of. We need to focus a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Focus on a lot in training those people who are not even literate at all. And then international collaborations, very, very important. Encouraging global partnerships to share knowledge, to share resources for sustainable mining practices. We need to continue research. I reiterate, like the others have said, we need to continue research and data collection. This will enhance understanding and facilitate better policy making for artisanal mining across both regions. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.